O'clock, Tuesday, June 17th, 2025. I'll call this meeting to order of the Board of Public Works in City Council Chambers, Peru, Indiana. Could we start with a roll call, please?
Don Sturch. Eric McCoy.
Here.
Bruce Carson.
Here. Here.
First item of business is the reading and approving of the minutes from the June 3rd, 2025 meeting.
I would move we suspend the rules for the reading of the minutes and accept them as written.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Moving on to the approval of claims. The first item is the payment of claims dated June 17th in the amount of $1,172,448.35. Any discussion with the payment of claims?
And I would just say that the claims are kind of high this month because we have several one-time charges. The insurance, splash pad, mowers, irrigation. So I would move that we approve the payment of claims dated June 17th for $1,172,448.35.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next item is the regular and monthly payroll dated June 13th for $241,965.65. Any discussion?
I would move we approve the payment of the regular and monthly payroll dated June 13th in the amount of $241,965.65.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Seeing nothing under approval of claims and nothing under old business, we'll move on to new business. The first item under new business is to open the first round of bids for demolition for properties at 271 West 3rd Street and 319 Harrison Street. So we will open these. The first bid is for 271 West 3rd Street from Black's Lawn and Maintenance. Bid amount is $1,300. Next bid is for the property at 319 Harrison from Black's Lawn and Maintenance. Bid amount is $7,500. And we have a bid on 319 Harrison Street from Wade Ames and Son Demolition, the amount of $8,200. And a bid for the property at 271 West 3rd Street by Wade Ames and Son Demolition for $1,800. So I would make a motion that we take these bids under advisement to be awarded at a later date.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All Our next item is a request by Chief Feller to approve the following police policies. Policy 412 of rapid response and deployment, 414 for utility service emergencies, policy 415 for aircraft support, policy 417 for air support, and policy 418 for contracts and temporary detention.
Good afternoon. So the majority of the policies that you just read off, we do not already have a policy for any of these things, and so this is something that's brand new and necessary. The rapid response and deployment is effectively to, for example, an active shooter, what the responsibilities are, how to, what's expected of our folks when they respond to that. Utility service emergencies, which we encounter on somewhat regular basis between gas leaks and electrical issues. A lot of that responsibility realistically falls to the fire department, but oftentimes we are the first ones who are on scene, so it just kind of draws out some guidelines for our folks. Aircraft support has to do with aircraft crash investigations. We have a municipal airport here. We have a Grissom Air Force Base just outside our city limits that we are in their flight path. Helicopters, a variety of things, so it just spells out what those responsibilities are in the event that an aircraft would go down in our corporate limits. And then the contacts and temporary detention are outlines for the policies for our folks if when they come into contact with people as part of an investigation but do not necessarily make an arrest. Things like photographing suspects, ID or photo lineups, what happens to those photos after they're done being used, particularly if it doesn't end in an arrest, those types of things. So all pretty straightforward, but if anybody has any questions, I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
I don't have any. I'm just glad I don't have to make those decisions in the field like you guys do.
Yeah, I didn't have any questions either. So if there's no further discussion, make a motion to approve the police policies that we mentioned as they're written.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
Our next item is a request from Paul Foreman and the Circus City Festival requesting the closure of 7th Street from Broadway to Miami from 1 to 3 p.m. for unicycle races.
Good afternoon. So in addition to the 65th anniversary of the circus, we've decided to bring back a few things that we used to do back in the day, and that would be the unicycle races. We already have from Clown Alley to Broadway pre-approved. This would just extend it to Miami. It would go from 1 to 3, and the only people who are cycling are qualified cyclists. Like the performers will be doing it. It's just in addition to the other festivities to kick off the Sunday afternoon show.
So this is July 26th? July, when is it?
No, the 13th, Sunday.
So it's only on the
Yeah.
Sunday date.
Yeah, opening day.
Oh, okay.
Chief Feller, Chief Dane, does this change the request from your end?
So we're going to put the barricades clear down to Miami?
At 1 o'clock, and then at 3 o'clock, we already have, I understand it, from Clown Alley to Broadway closed for buses and stuff, so it would just extend for 2 hours.
Will your security then be at Miami with these barricades? And keep in mind, if we have
Right, keep the 12 feet.
emergency on the north end, we're coming that way, so just, we'll be coming through there.
Yeah, I would say yes, the security should be there to assist.
Then that would be my only hiccup with it is they
If you need it-
have to be there.
If you need them moved, we
They
have someone to
be
move
moved,
them.
and the thing will have to be shut down so we can get through. So,
Yeah, and keep the 12 feet, so,
yeah.
yep, we can do that.
Well, if it's, the 12 feet's not a big deal. If we're coming through there, we don't want kids on unicycles and stuff.
Right, well, then we'd have to get someone out of the way.
Yeah.
I would concur with Chief Dane. I would say request that any motion that's made be contingent, approval that is be contingent on CCFI having their security folks at the barricades to be able to do them in case
We
police,
can-
fire, or EMS need to get through.
We can get that to you both. I know a guy's gonna be down there doing a little few things.
Would it be better to do this somewhere else?
The idea was to do it with the performers, and then when they're done, they'll go right into the circus and do it. They'd want to do it on Broadway. Of course, we have people setting up all day on Broadway. We have trucks coming in and trailers, and so the idea was if we could get that, that would make it more centered to the circus.
So you're okay with it as long as we got
As long as there's
security there that can get it opened up and get everybody back to where?
And we
it's-
could even do the cones with the bars, instead of actual.
We want the big barricades.
Yeah, you'll
like, get them out of the
have,
way.
you'll have wooden ones down there that.
Right, we'll have
We
them on.
usually have 7 or 10 down there in the parking lot.
Okay,
So you
yeah, we can
bring
just,
those in.
as long as we can flip them open, if you need to go down there, we'll do it.
I'll make a motion that we approve the request contingent on Circus City Festival providing security at the barricades.
And we'll get a copy of that to you going forward to everyone involved.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Our next item is a request from Paul Foreman, Foreman Blasters. That's a closure request for the fireworks display, specifically requesting closure of the Riverwalk from 3 p.m. until 11 p.m. on Friday, June 27th at West City Park. That's for the Little League Championships. And the Mechanical Disc Golf Park Disc Golf to be closed from 3 p.m. to midnight on July 4th for the 4th of July celebration.
And it's requests we've done the last couple of years, just kind of keep people out of where they don't need to be when we're setting up the electronics, and once we're wired, we're hot, so that's, Todd has signs that we put up, closed for firework display, and we put that on both ends, and we tape it off, and,
So this is a similar request as
yeah,
years
similar
previous.
requests that we've had the last couple of years. It has worked. We only had a couple people last year come up to the park, take our tape down, but
And Todd,
better
you're-
than the 15 before.
You're familiar with the details for all of this? and
Yeah.
What's required?
Yep.
Any discussion?
I don't have any as long as everyone else is okay with it.
We're okay.
I'll make a motion that we approve the request to close the Peru Riverwalk from 3 p.m. until 11 p.m. on Friday, June 27th for the Little League Championship, and to close the Mechanical Park Disc Golf Course from 3 p.m. to midnight on July 4th.
And I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item is a request from Sherry Loshkanowski and the Back to School Festival requesting the closure of 7th Street from Broadway to Clown Alley from noon to 2 p.m. For the Back to School Festival. Do we have a representative from this request here?
She is not here, but
This is
this is an ongoing
a
thing.
common request, yeah.
They just request the barricades while the people are lining up to prevent the kids from going in the street and getting hit. As soon as the doors open, they move the barricades.
She lists in her request as well that they have volunteers who can move barricades if necessary for emergency vehicles. The request is for Saturday, July 26th, from noon to 2 p.m. Chief Dane, Chief Beller, any comments on this request?
No, it's good. They've done it for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah. I'd make a motion that we approve the request for the closure of 7th Street from Broadway to Clown Alley from noon to 2 p.m. on Saturday, July 26th for the Back to School Festival.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next item is a request from Carla Sinkovics, the St. Charles Borromeo, requesting assistance on June 22nd at 10 a.m. With crossing 5th Street in Miami, 7th in Miami, and 6th in Miami. Do we have a representative here? He could come forward to the mic.
afternoon.
Afternoon.
Over there.
My request is for Corpus Christi procession after Mass on Sunday on all the streets that you listed.
As far as, go ahead.
So that you just need the police to stop traffic? Is that what,
Correct.
have we done this before, or is it, oh, okay. Chief?
Yeah, we've done similar things for them. It's really just putting a car at the intersections so that as they're crossing, it gets the traffic light for them, but it keeps cars from turning.
Yeah, kind of makes sense, it seems like.
This is at 10 a.m. on the 22nd. I'd make a motion that we approve the request for assistance with crossing the streets we mentioned on June 22nd at 10 a.m.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Thanks.
The next item on our agenda is a proposal from Trainfo. Andrea, were you going to speak to this proposal at all, or
Pardon?
were you going to speak to this proposal? It's probably detail.
I think Tim should speak.
Or Tim? Yeah, if you want.
I can.
Okay.
Trainfo is a company that Tim, the mayor, and myself have been speaking with for a while now. They are a company who has sensors that you can purchase to alert residents of blockages on rail crossings. So we've been working on trying to figure out what crossings that we want to have signals at. We started out big and we're scaling down. We want to purchase 3. 2 will be purchased with a grant, a 50 grant. It'll be a 5-year service, so our match would be $35,000, but we want to purchase 1 now. And it is $11,195. And the sensor that we are purchasing now would be on Kelly?
Well, we would put it, but we think we're going to move this one to Grant.
We would place it at Grant Street. And this sensor can be linked to our 911 service, our dispatch service. So it'll alert them that the crossing is blocked. So they can alert EMS, fire, police that the crossing is blocked to take an alternate route.
Did I read, it looks like this also integrates with the Waze app as well, so the general public
Right.
eventually could benefit from
And we-
information about closures.
We found out yesterday that Logansport, or Cass County, is actually working with them as well, and they're going to be purchasing 10 sensors. So, with them purchasing 10 sensors, it'll be able to alert our sensors as well that there are trains coming, that they will be blocked. On Waze, it'll tell you how long, or estimate on how long it'll be blocked. So it's the first step we're taking, understanding the fact that the under or overpass is a couple years out.
And I guess I'll just add, to what Andrea's saying, we'll have 3 sensors, and ultimately there'll be one at Kelly Avenue, Grant Street, and then Chi-Li Benton. And these sensors, not only, in the short term will help, tell folks if there is a blockage at that particular crossing, but it also will help us gather information so when it's, and data, so when it's time to try to get a grant to pay for the over underpass, we have all this data that we've collected that will help in that process.
The railroad's not involved in this at all, I take it?
No.
Yeah.
Good luck getting them
Sounds like-
involved or contributing in any way.
Mhm. Seemed like a good idea to me.
As far as the council's concerned and budgeting, the funds have been appropriated already for this or are budgeted.
The funds are
For the
budgeted for
11,000.
the 11,000.
Yep.
We would have to take, for the grant, we would have to give their approval to go for the grant.
Yeah, I agree. It sounds like a good idea and a solution to a problem we've had for a while.
And we've been working with Tim Carson and some other folks on identifying funding for this. So, you know, we know that there's a very, very good chance we will get funding to support this.
I would make a motion that we accept and approve the proposal from Trainfo for the first sensor in the amount of $11,195.
If we approve it today, when would we be getting it installed?
I will go up and email them right after the meeting, so it'll get processed.
Okay.
It looked
I'll
like-
second that.
It looked like in the paperwork that there's maybe a 10-week
Is that what it was?
process
And
until it's active.
our street department will be putting the sensor in.
Oh, okay.
So
All right.
it's city side of,
Yeah.
their solar power.
Yeah. So I believe we made the motion. You seconded
I
it?
second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
That sounds good.
Our next item on the agenda is a quit claim deed releasing part of parcel number 520835016.00-023 to Gary and Linda Boggs. Do we have a representative present for this request?
No, but I can speak on that one.
Okay.
So this is up by Bobtail. Evidently, there was a vacant parcel there that was never assigned to the city, was never dealt with through the county. I'm assuming it comes back to when Bobtail and, I can't think of the other one,
Arrowhead.
Arrowhead was first built, so the neighbor who this would be going to, previous owner of that property evidently had constructed a garage on that land. It's not far from their house, it's basically right beside it. And we need to dispose of that. The city doesn't own it, we have no interest in it. We had no interest in the land until the county says, well, it's vacant, and you have to have it. And put our names on it in a parcel, so it's just giving that, not mobile home, but sorry, giving that garage to the rightful owner and indicating that the city has no interest in it.
Have they been maintaining that whole parcel this whole time, or?
I don't know if they've been mowing the entire thing. I guess I didn't ask that, or if this, it's my understanding though that the city was not maintaining it.
Yeah, I don't think.
I know they were most certainly maintaining the property and the ground directly adjacent to the barn, so, our garage.
Yeah, yeah.
And this ultimately will be something that the mayor needs to sign, correct?
Yes, he would sign the deed.
There's no reason to table it till he's here,
Yeah,
though, is there?
I don't think so.
Okay, yeah, I'm fine with it.
I'd make a motion to accept the quit claim deed for the parcel that we mentioned earlier.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Don't want me to rattle off all those numbers again. Our next item on the agenda is a request from Bill Shercliffe for the east-west alley between Jefferson Avenue and Adams Avenue to become a one-way alley in the easterly direction from Water Street to Wayne Street. Is there a representative here for this request? Sir.
alley is right by the elementary school. So the drop-off for the kids and the pickup for the kids, the parents tend to speed down our alley to beat traffic around to Water Street. And it's, they'll go 30, 40 mile an hour down through there. So asking nicely for them not to do that hasn't seemed to help over the years. So we're hoping we can get it changed to a one-way to help slow down on some of that traffic. It's very dangerous for our grandkids and children that play out there. So.
Yeah, I went out there and looked and drove down the alley, and it is straight across from where they go through at Elmwood, so it does look like they could. But I don't know, nobody from the street department's here, is there? The garbage trucks go that way?
Yeah, I don't know how they,
Yeah, I don't know
I don't know
either.
how they're, if you make it a one-way, I don't know, they'll have to drive a trash truck down in there to see if they can make it out the other end. That, what everybody thinks is an alley behind that school is actually Jefferson Avenue.
Yeah,
That's not an alley, behind the school.
yeah,
That's the road. That's Jefferson.
The alley behind my house is a street and not
Yeah.
a road, and
That's,
not an alley?
yeah, it's as GIS and the county and the city, that, they drop the kids off, pick them up, that's actually Jefferson. And then it's crazy, and then it turns into an alley, and then Jefferson then splits, goes north, and then goes.
The problem we have is there's a few people on that alley that drive like a crazy person.
yeah.
20 to 30 mile an hour through that alley, and I've had a sign up there for 2 years, slow children, slow down, kids are playing. They don't pay any attention to it. So I think it's in Bunker Hill or someplace, they got a speed limit on all the alleys at 10 mile an hour. But how are they gonna police it?
Yeah.
There's other things going on in the city of Peru besides policing an alley.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact of the matter is, there's times when Bill and Travis and me back out of our garage, we almost get clipped because there's somebody driving like a madman. So, like Bill said, if we could get it as a one-way, at least they wouldn't be driving west going towards Water Street.
Right.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, it seems like a good idea to me as long as we can get by with it being one way. I would
But
probably say.
what you gotta think about too is, you got all those buses sitting there, and the visibility when you're coming up out of there.
Coming out at the
turning north,
Elmwood
turning
end.
south.
Well, having worked for the schools and been in Elmwood a lot during both times, that's going to bottleneck right there, because the people who do go straight, I agree they should not be driving fast, but that's one of the few open ways out of that intersection for the most part. You can't turn north when the buses are there easily, and it's hard to turn south because of the line of cars. So a lot of times going straight across is the easiest way out of it.
Man, I don't know how they can
See, I-
survive one trip of 30 in there. I drove it today, and I'm like, oh, I was going 10, and I thought.
Well, yeah, the alley's in pretty bad shape, but still talking to my brother about that.
So, for the last 3 years, I've dropped my daughter off every morning at Elmwood. I've never seen a car go straight from there. They always turn south.
Okay.
That's just my
Now, that's
observation.
good. I haven't been there a couple of years, so I'll go for that.
Now, 8 years ago, the school buses used to come down through our alley and turn south on Water to get out. And that become so rutted out, that's where we're at today.
What if we could get the school to make everybody turn south, bring school out?
And if nothing else, can you put a sign up someplace in the alley, drive slow, 10 mile an hour?
See, I do believe there's a 10 mile an hour ordinance
Yeah,
on all alleys in the
whole
city.
city's
Yeah,
10 mile an hour, yeah.
Yeah, but again, who's going to police it?
sure.
Could have a
You've got
reminder.
other things on your plate besides, oh, there goes somebody 15 mile an hour down the alley, I'm going to give him a warning ticket. That ain't going to happen.
Or you get a deal on one of those signs that flashes your speed. But they're $7,000.
Oh, wow.
Pole mounted ones, that's
Sounds like we need to have some further conversation with the street department,
Yeah, get with those guys and see if they
possibly
can
the
make
schools, to check the viability of this
If you make
request.
it one way, can they come out of there without too much problems with the trash trucks and facing? And we don't want to put one up and then say, well, the trash trucks don't have to obey it. That wouldn't work.
Yeah, that's not gonna
Kind of a-
work. One way for everybody.
Yeah, everybody
except-
else could be. Yeah.
I think in light of that, I'll make a motion that we table this until we're able to have those
Yeah, that makes
conversations
sense.
to decide at our
I'll
next meeting.
second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Appreciate you bringing it to us. I mean, we are the Board of Public Works and Safety, so we just want to make sure we do our due diligence and make sure whatever solutions we propose aren't causing new problems.
And we'll let you know what's going on. Thank you.
Maybe we can, I hate to do it, but maybe we can do speed bumps if we have. Just make it worse. But the people who live there-
Seeing nothing further on our agenda, are there any comments from the Board of Public Works?
No.
Any comments from department heads?
I have a question this time.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Can you hear me? You want me to come on?
Go ahead and come on up.
All right. I've had several people ask me this question. It's kind of theoretical, but they want to know what would happen from kind of a legal perspective. If we look at the easement between the street and the sidewalk, that easement there, okay, which from my understanding, the city owns that, but we have to maintain it. So here's the question that people propose to me. What's going to happen if somebody has an accident there in that area, in the easement? They break a leg or something, kids, ride their bikes. I've seen people come out of the car, and then get into a wheelchair. If they slip, they fall on the ground, they end up in ER. So who's responsible, the city or the property owner?
Property owner.
Property owner?
We just have right of way, right? That's
Right.
Yeah.
basically their property. But
They have the obligation to maintain it. That is clear.
Okay, that's what they wanted to know. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was quick.
Any other comments from the public? If not, I will make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
This meeting's adjourned.